Hi, this is Makona Spokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I want to deal with character traits of leadership in church, the character traits of a church leader. And I want to start with part one today, as I want to deal with this for the next few days and just outline some character traits of a church leader that might be able to help you as you lead the church, or as you appoint, maybe as a senior pastor, appoint leaders in your church. Very, very important that we scrutinize and look at who a leader should be, because there are times when we put in people into leadership, but yet they do not qualify to become leaders. And a leader in a church is totally different from a political leader. Leader in the church is totally different from a leader of business. A leader in church is totally different from a leader somewhere else, because here you're speaking about spiritual leadership as well, that goes together with, of course, some characters that are in line with spirituality. And that's what makes it a difference when you compare with any other leadership anywhere else. And that is why, therefore, when you look at the character traits of a leader in church, totally becomes different from any other leader anywhere. I want to start by saying a church leader should have a character trait of blamelessness. A church leader must be blameless. In other words, in anything that they do, whatever they are, they should not be having something that anybody can point a finger at them, that anybody can blame them for something that has happened. In other words, the life of a church leader should actually be more wise enough and more cognizance actually of other people watching. And I always emphasize the fact that as a church leader, sometimes you become the only Bible to those that do not have Bibles. You become the only Bible to those people that don't know what the Bible says at all, because your character traits actually are speaking to other people's lives. They are ministering to other people's lives. So you cannot just live anyhow, therefore. You cannot just do things the way you want to do. And that is why when you're a church leader, there are those things that you may be interested in, but that may not be suited for a church leader. And I'm talking about even things that may not be wrong at all, but those things that may actually put some blame on you. They may actually put you at a point where you become blamed for things that has happened. And that is why we're speaking about a church leader needs not be having anything that they can point a finger at. You must be blameless. You must be at a point that when people look at you as a church leader, they're actually satisfied that you qualify for any moral standard or any standard that people are looking at or towards a leader that is leading the church. Remember that as a leader of the church, you are actually judged by the standards of spirituality, as I've said earlier. So therefore, everything else follows, because they judge you by the Bible, they judge you by the word of God, they judge you by the standards of God. So therefore, every ability or every behavior that you do, everybody would be judging you based on that. So you must be blameless as a church leader. So a church leader must not have any spot that people can point at and blame you at. So therefore, everything that you do as a church leader, therefore, must be carefully be looked at. You must always be considerate, as we say, about what other people will say, what other people will look at and say, and don't ignore the fact that you are actually a mirror to the people. It is very important that we don't ignore the fact that we become the reflection of the community. The community is watching at the leader, who is a church leader. They actually want to resemble you. They want to see the right things that you do. They want to see you being an example of the community itself. So therefore, it becomes very important that a church leader is blameless. Now, we also speak about a church leader being a husband of one wife. And that's exactly what the Bible speaks about. And when you speak about a husband of one wife, we speak about exemplary marriage life. We're speaking about exemplary family life, that what you do in front of other people should actually be resembling who you are in your family. Because you cannot be a leader of people while you are not a leader of your own family. while you cannot control your own family. So it is very important, therefore, that we see a man or a woman who is actually a leader in the church to be actually a spouse of one spouse, which is very important, because when you look at it, it is actually a guiding principle of how controlled are you, how focused are you as an individual. Because it is actually resembled that when somebody is a husband of one wife, therefore they are able actually to take care of the people that have been given unto them, which is now the wife maybe and the children. But also remember that when you are like that, then people are able actually to see you as a focused person, a person who's having a full direction and control in everything that they do. And that is why it is actually emphasized in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3. If you read from verse 1 to 7, it will tell you a lot about this, that it must be a husband of one wife. And therefore, we're speaking also on the other side, that it must be on the women as well, a wife of one husband. So this is very, very important that you look at it and say, because that shows focus, that shows actually dedication, that shows also commitment as well. Because the commitment that one has, it is actually resembling the type of commitment that one will have even in the work of God. So this is very important that we mention that a church leader becomes a husband of one wife. And also I want to mention that it is very important that a church leader become temperate. A church leader become temperate. In other words, we're speaking about somebody who's having calm demeanor. We're speaking about somebody who's able actually to control their temper. Somebody who is not getting angry easily. Somebody who's able actually to stand firm and become sweet and control their emotions, even when pressurous situations are there, even when it's difficult to do so. And I want to emphasize that the issue of temper therefore becomes very important, because as a church leader, you're going to lead people. You're going to be an example in the community. You're going to be an example in the church that you're leading. And everybody's looking up to you, therefore. And you're dealing with people, some difficult people, some people that are irritating, some people that are having their own baggages and issues, some people that have problems and they will bring problems to you. So it depends on what type of a temper you have, because you're going to need to control your temper to a level whereby you are able to be calm and cool in situations that presses you to be angry. Because out of anger, that is where you're going to say words that are not palatable. Out of anger is where you're going to behave in a way that you might need to apologize later. Now, as a church leader, we emphasize the fact that the church leader should be temperate, should be actually able to control their emotions and their feelings, may be able to control their temper in a way that they don't easily snap out. They don't easily snap up and get angry. So it is very important, therefore, that the church leader, therefore, controls their emotions so that they can be able to speak to people. Even when they are people that makes them angry, they can still treat them usually very well. With each and every one, they can actually look at people the same way. Because remember, when you don't control your temper, you tend to actually choose people that you feel, these are nice people, therefore then I'll associate to. But I want to emphasize the fact that when you are temperate, you are able actually to control your emotions, whereby you treat everybody equally despite of what they've caused, the harm that they've caused to you. This is very key, because when you're going to lead people, people need to be treated equally. And as a leader of a church, you definitely need to remain calm in mind. And as I said, calm demeanor, that will make you to be able to treat people equally at all times. It doesn't matter how you feel, but the feelings should be suppressed in a way so that you can treat people in a proper manner each time you meet them, each time you deal with them. Don't be judgmental to people, because when you are not temperate, you're going to be angry to an extent that you will actually say to people things that you would not dare say to people at any given time. And you would actually be able to be forgiving as well in situations that you need to be forgiving. Because temperate spirit gives you a sobriety of mind. And people that are temperate, they become sober in mind at all times. They calculate their approach to things. They speak and calculate their words that they are speaking. And they will always actually consider and reflect the words that they speak on how would I actually take it if somebody was to speak to me this way. So they will always reflect on how they speak. Before they speak things, they would actually reflect those words before to themselves. And that becomes very important, because when you are temperate, you are calm in demeanor, as I said, you are able to approach things a bit more better, because you are sober, you are calculative in nature, you are able actually to control your emotion, and you don't therefore do things actually in a way that you would not like them to be done in the future. Remember that your reputation is very important, and people are holding you at a high regard, and your temper may actually snap up, whereby to an extent that you lose respect of the people. Because when you are actually not temperate and you are actually controlled by emotions, you'll end up saying things, as I said, that may make you not to be respectable at all. And people will respect the people that respect them, and you might say things that don't respect people, and therefore it may cause harm to the people and to yourself as well. And your reputation actually may be dented based on what you say and on how you treat people in that state that you are in when your emotions are taking control. I want to end up here today. Your host, Maikona Spokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and be part of this great topic. We will continue with part 2 tomorrow of this great topic, which is the character traits of a church leader. And I hope that you'll join us as we embark on it tomorrow. Remember, before I check out, that we are putting this on our Facebook platforms. So please like our Facebook page, Maikona Spokane, and our Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions. And also remember the fact that we put this on our YouTube channel, Maikona Spokane. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel and click that notification button, so that each time you are notified, you will be able to follow us on that platform and listen to our videos that we post there. May the good Lord bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.